This week on What the Heck, we check in with Tyler, talk about how much we miss going to the bar, and fight over the best video game franchise of all time. Crack a cold one, kick your feet up, and enjoy the show. Good evening and welcome to episode 10, season 2 of What the Heck. I'm Colin Frederick with Jake Reese and Tyler Heck. Howdy, partners.
Good evening.
Howdy. I didn't know Woody was coming on the show.
Sure is.
That looks
How we
really
doing
good.
tonight, folks?
Doesn't fit very well.
Maybe
with
it
the
fits
headset.
on Tyler's head. Do you have a small head?
Not with the, yeah, but
'Cause-
not, well, I think I don't
I
really
think
know.
that
guess.
sucker's a 7 1/4.
It didn't fit well on my head.
When I used to wear fitted hats, I needed 7 1/4 was a little tight. Usually I do a 7.5.
Yeah, me too.
I'm like a 7 3/8 or 3/4 or.
I'm like a 7 5/8 comfortably.
Though I don't have hair now. So I did
Oh, true, that
when I
helps.
bought those hats. So maybe I don't know.
I can't picture you with hair. It kind of freaks me out.
You want to see a picture? I got a picture of him
no,
with hair.
that's terrible. I actually recently considered maybe growing it out a little bit.
No.
I did it for like, I don't. Okay, so I shave usually every like 3 or 4 days because it just gets to that length where.
Yep.
I let it grow maybe a 5th day, and I was already annoyed. I just couldn't do it. So
I think it would
Cut it
freak me
out.
out and we couldn't hang out anymore. And we'd have to rebrand.
Would it be weirder if I grew my hair or shaved my beard?
Grew your hair.
Grew your hair.
Okay. Not that I'm gonna ever shave.
Yeah,
my
don't
beard.
shave your beard, but.
I
yeah.
did that once a couple years ago for the whole Movember thing,
Sure.
and it was it was a good time to just regrow it anyway.
I think
but
I'd like to just have a mustache, but I'm not sure that
No,
I
I-
could really get away with it.
I
did
think
the-
I'd like to
I
have a whole
regrew the
beard
whole
someday.
beard. I just did
I'm
No
a
Shave
real
November and
boy.
said I was part
Someday
of the
when I go
Movember
through
thing at
puberty.
school, and yeah, I don't know if I would do that again.
I think I'd like to have a real, like, porny mustache.
Shave and let it grow.
As I say, shave it and keep that.
Yeah.
You don't even have to do it.
My
already
father.
there.
Like the handlebars.
My father sported a mustache for my entire life, pretty much, until the last, I don't know, a little while. But, like, pretty much, he always tells people he had a mustache from the time he was 14 until the time he was, whatever,
Sounds about right.
45 and started experimenting with goatees and beards.
Nice.
Yeah, it's,
Was it a porny mustache?
no, it's a standard dad
Oh, well,
mustache.
that's good. Standard dad mustache.
100%.
There's really those are the only two kinds of mustaches.
Yeah, fact. And mine would be porny for sure.
Because people say like, oh, he's got a creepy mustache. That's really just a scaled down porn stash.
100%. Whereas, like, dads can have mustaches and it's okay.
Yeah.
Then you're just a dad.
Correct.
I'd like to see mustaches make a comeback.
Should we start it?
Yeah, I think we should.
I'm in.
Can you grow a mustache?
Not really, but I'll give it a whirl.
Well, how about you grow it out, and when you're at your spot, we'll shave
Yeah,
the beard.
we'll shave down.
Yes. Okay, so I'm thinking maybe by like September, by Labor Day.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Should be able to get
And
that
I'm gonna
stash
grow the
in.
beard until then. I won't shave.
I always give Tim Long a hard time about that because he'd have like 3 little peach fuzzes on his upper lip.
Yeah.
Oh, Tim letting the stash grow, huh?
During the whole quarantine, I didn't, like when the real quarantine was going down, I didn't shave at all. It was probably, whatever, we were home 6 weeks. And Kim said I just looked like a homeless man.
I think you
Because
had
it-
it the first couple episodes.
Yeah,
or
I
we
probably
talked about
did.
it for
Yeah,
sure.
we was pretty awful.
There was one episode called "What the Heck is on Your Face?"
Yeah,
What the heck
that's
is
what it
on
was.
Jake's face? I remember that. One of my favorite episodes. Yep, so that was 6 weeks worth of patchy nothingness.
Cool.
Yep.
Well, you can shave all the patchy shit. I just need a stash out of you.
No, that's part of the patchy stuff. Like
It's all
across my
patchy.
upper lip, there's like 3 spots that it doesn't grow. So, I mean, if I got it long enough, maybe I'd comb it over those spots. You wouldn't know the difference.
That's not bad technique. I'm kind of in the spot where Katie tells me twice a day that I need to trim my beard.
And you don't.
Yeah. I do need to trim it off my cheeks because it would grow to my eyeballs if I let it. And my neck and also my lip because I get a lot of mustache in my mouth at this point. But
When you're eating.
yeah, other than that, I brush it out in the morning and it's fine. Everything's
Do you
fine.
condition it to make sure it's smooth and soft?
You got to be careful with conditioning your beard because if it gets too soft, then sometimes it can just get kind of unruly, like it just like froze out.
Yeah.
As opposed to if you don't condition it and then it stays like a little bit more, I don't know, wiry, I guess.
Tough,
But-
like man beard.
But then you can like make it behave.
Mm.
The other option is
I'm taking notes for that day when I can grow a beard.
the other
I'll
option
know
is
how to
you can
handle it.
condition it, but then you gotta like you give it a nice oil. I gotta get back into this. I used to be in the Dollar Beard Clubs and I had like products coming every month.
Yeah.
But then I was a poor college kid, so I had to stop. But you get like oil, so you can oil it and get it a nice shine.
Nice.
And then there was a balm that you put in
Ooh.
there, and then it kind of like held it in place.
Yeah.
So I think I gotta get back into my beard care routine.
Yeah, I think you should.
Yeah. I've looked into that, but right now I wear a mask 10 hours a day.
Yeah,
And
that's
it
true.
covers a good portion of it. So
It does. And I have a hard time wearing a mask for a few reasons. One, my face is giant. So the masks are generally too small. So then if it only covers this much of my face, then it leaves funny lines in my beard.
Yep.
So then I have like masked beard.
And I've only seen you with a mask once, I think, but I think your beard looks more puby when you have a mask on
Wow.
than beardy.
Wow.
I think it's like that for everyone.
Yeah, yeah,
That's
not
why
just you, not
right
just
now
you in
I've
general.
been keeping mine a little bit shorter than normal because
I'm
of
just letting
that
it rock.
reason. Like it,
Just
Yeah,
yeah,
but you
let it curl out wherever you
you
need
don't
it.
wear yours around kids for
That's
8 to
true.
9 hours
Well,
a day.
And I started wearing a buff a little bit.
Oh yeah.
However, I discovered tonight
A gator.
a gator,
Yeah, I like those better.
a muff buff.
They're just so much
When I think
easier.
of the word buff, I think of Survivor.
Yes.
Some guys wore it around their necks, and then the little skinny chicks could wear it as a whole shirt.
Yeah. There were some
That
dudes who
was
tried to
shocking.
wear it like on their bicep,
Yep.
but they had to wrap it 3 times because they weren't big enough to do it.
Little nerds. My problem that I discovered tonight with that is that I have enough beard, like in here along my jaw, that if I put my head down, it pushes my beard up, and it looks like I have a really fat face under my thing because it's covered so you can't see. But it's like, I promise this is not my fat neck. It's just beard. But it's only a minor problem. Yep.
Moving on.
Anything
Wow.
else happened this week? I don't think so. It's been pretty uneventful
Yeah.
for me.
No,
It's only Tuesday.
just Tuesday. So
Alabama kicked the shit out of
Yikes.
Ohio State.
yeah, I think most people were expecting that.
I didn't know that it was going to be like that.
I
they
thought
were
it
gonna
would have
put
been
up-
a little bit closer.
Well,
thought that it would
Ohio
be high
State lost
scoring.
their running back in the
Yeah.
second
That
quarter.
didn't help.
Yeah, but he had like 2 good games in his whole career.
Yeah, they were the last 2 weeks.
The
the
big-
Yeah,
last
so
two
he was
games
just
before
eating
that.
up.
I don't know. Alabama's
I
pretty
think
good.
they are.
What do you think
Did
of that?
they show you the highlight of their recruiting 2017 recruiting class?
Yeah, pretty good.
I mean, Jesus. 4 of those guys are already in the NFL, and the next 5 of them will be 3 of them will be first round this year. And
Well, they had 2 wide receivers go in the first round last year,
Yeah.
and the 2 that didn't declare for the draft were better than those 2.
yes. Yeah.
Now, one of them didn't play much this year. He
Waddle
did
broke his
play-
foot.
Yeah, how dumb was that he played last night? What was he doing?
I honestly,
Who
I
let him
think
out there?
they did that just so that Ohio State had to think, "Oh, great, he's gonna play now too."
Did you see him like totally gimping around?
Yeah,
You know,
He-
though,
he was out
think
there for
about
his
it.
name.
I understand he's going to the NFL and there's bigger things ahead of him, but like
I get it. It's
if
a
he
national
knows it's
championship.
a national championship and it's his last college game ever, I'd be like, Coach, fucking put me out there.
I get it, but my God, that ankle is not healed.
No, for sure not. And you're right. He's putting a lot of money in his future on the table.
yeah.
Maybe like, hey, let me run one route, throw me one pass,
Right.
and I'll get out.
I
Like,
was in
give
the
him a
it
game.
little
was
pop
cool
pass
when
or
they brought
something.
that senior center in at the end.
Yeah.
I mean, that, like,
Mm-hmm.
I got some goosebumps. I'm not going to lie. Like, that was the heart and soul. Like, the Remington winner, like, that dude was a 4-year, hard-working, guy and blew his knee out. And they brought him in just for one snap. And he could say he played as a senior in the national championship game. Like, that's pretty cool. So maybe something like that versus what he was doing. Yeah, I get that.
Did you see their left guard, who was apparently the largest human being on the planet?
Yeah.
My God, that man was
It
gigantic.
was kind of like remember when we
Was he 6'8"?
Something.
Like
I'd put him at
327 or
7 foot.
something?
He
like-
had. I can't believe he was only that.
I was gonna say he looked bigger.
My
He looked
God.
like when you saw The Blind Side for the first time.
Yeah.
And Michael Orr in high school, like how much bigger he was. That's what it looked like in that game.
Yeah, true.
And he's playing with grown men
Yeah.
who will be playing at the next level, and he will do that to the grown men he plays with at the next level too. Like he's just
he
gonna
was
tower over everybody.
a monster.
That was a pretty wild time. So that's our sports update for the week.
Well, I watched the Badgers game a little bit tonight. That was a pretty waste of my time.
I don't know if I'd call it a game based on the final score.
They had like a 36-3 run at one point. Michigan did.
Woof.
We lost by 27, by the way. 25.
I'm feeling really sad
25.
about it.
Yeah,
The Badgers beat Minnesota in hockey the other day.
I saw that. I
Yeah.
watched it.
I think they
That
split
was-
though, didn't
They
they?
did split. We won Friday. You won Saturday.
Minnesota and Wisconsin, or Minnesota, both the men's and women's are currently ranked number 1 in hockey.
They should drop after splitting with Wisconsin, who's ranked like 14.
Yeah, but that's their only loss, man.
So they should be
Or
ranked
they
number
on
2.
like a
Nope.
11-game win streak going into
Something
that.
like that.
That's ridiculous.
Hockey games were so much fun. That was probably my favorite thing. in
So
college.
I went to the inaugural home opener of the Kohl Center. At the time, one of my buddies that I met in college, his best friend from high school was a guy by the name of Dan Bjornley, who was a starter on the Badger hockey team. So he's like, "Yeah, I'll just ask Dan. He'll get us tickets." I'm like, "Okay, cool." So he got us 2 tickets to the opener. It was like all these celebrations. It was Madison celebrities, Badger celebrities. Great. Until we went to claim our tickets and then realized we were in the corner with like the parents and
Oh, yeah.
girlfriends and wives and
Getting real
grandmas and
rowdy.
like, yeah, well, we went there, you know, a couple of soda pops in and then had to like sit on our hands and like mute our mouths because we were in like the snooty section. So it wasn't quite as fun as I thought it would be, but
But you were still there.
it was still pretty cool.
The student section's great. You
Oh,
just get
God.
to just scream at people.
Yeah, pretty much. Anything goes.
And the opposing team always warmed up on the end where the student section was, so then you just shout profanity at them, and they would hit pucks at the glass and scare the shit out of you. They're all tough until there's a puck coming at your
Yeah.
face.
Oh, those are good.
Good times.
I miss hockey games. I miss games
Just
in person.
sports
Any
of any
sports
kind.
games.
People
Yes. People, things.
just sitting somewhere with a bunch of people.
Shaking hands.
Back when we were like crowded everywhere, like shoulder to shoulder. Like, God, I hate this. No,
I don't hate it anymore.
No.
I'd be okay with it at this point.
Give me that 16-inch seat that's too narrow for everyone.
Yeah, for sure.
Ah, jeepers creepers. Tyler, what the heck?
This might be similar to last week. What I talked about.
Oh my
I don't
God.
You
really.
can't repeat.
Tyler's running
It's
out
not
of
a
material.
repeat. I'm changing it.
Folks,
but
it's been a good run, but we gotta cancel.
Tyler's
the show.
out,
No, no,
so if he
it's a
doesn't
good-
have anything new,
I
we're
think
out.
it's a good question. So last week we talked a little bit about the weather and just like
yeah.
more like snow removal and
Snow
that
removal,
Yep.
yeah.
So now
This
I would
week
like
you
to
want to talk about snowblowers, totally
no,
different.
I want to pose a question because we are in the heart of winter and it's
Oh, yeah,
you
the
know
thick of things.
gonna start getting colder and though the days are getting longer. I was very excited. I walked
Yeah,
out
we're on the tail end,
of
but we're really not.
yeah, I walked out of wrestling tonight at about 5:40 and I looked out over the horizon. I could see just the end of the
Yeah.
sunset,
Yep.
and that gave me hope that
progress.
hey, we're on our way.
It's the little things in life.
And that's
I'm telling
this
you.
is actually where I got my idea from tonight. Would you rather have a super cold winter, like temperatures below zero, wind chills below zero, or a super hot summer, like just constant days over 100, humid as hell?
I would take that super hot summer 100% of the time
You're high.
because now I know where you're going with this. I totally understand you. But first off, my neighbor has a pool. So I'd be in that bad boy like every
Colin, I could get you an invite to that pool. We're good.
yeah.
Oh, you know someone with a pool too.
I do.
Yeah.
True.
So that would be one thing. Secondly, don't hate me, but I work in an office every day, all day, air conditioned. So like 7:30 to 5:30, I'm in the office. Like
Or 804. Depends.
sometimes 8:04, but usually 7:30, 7:40, 7:42. Anyway, I'm indoors in the air conditioning most of the time. But I wouldn't mind going outside. You know, I still have the option. But when it's cold as all hell, and it's 20 below and like you step outside and your face hurts, like nothing good happens. I can't go outside and do anything in that no matter what because it hurts and everything sucks. So that's where I'm at anyway.
Colin?
Well,
Counterpoint?
that's incorrect.
That is opposite. Point counterpoint. That's the new
I
segment on the
I
show.
knew your answer to this one already.
Give me all of the cold always. Few things worse than I would rather walk out and get a little snot in my snot catcher. That's a mustache.
That freezes it though.
It does, and then you get cool mustache-sicles. That's kind of funny a little bit too.
Snotsicles.
Yeah.
Looks cool.
It does.
Not what it. Yeah.
One time I was having a conversation with someone about that at a bus stop in Minneapolis as my mustache was frozen.
Like a random person.
No, I think it was, I don't know, one of my friends or roommates or some girl
So
who
you
didn't
knew
have a
them.
mustache. Yeah. The person I knew I was talking to. And then she's like, oh my God, that's so weird. Like, whatever. And then some random guy was like, no, he's right. It's kind of nice.
So there was a random person that
So
just
there was a
jumped in.
random person involved. I would rather walk out and be like, oh, my face is cold, than get in my truck and burn my ass off on my black leather seats. That pain is pretty severe.
Yeah, I feel you there, but I don't have black leather, so
I also
that's your
can
fault.
avoid terrible sunburns, which are also not really that cool thing.
See, I'm not a fair-skinned gentleman like yourself, so
Latino.
yeah,
Yeah,
yes,
see,
my
Nor-
Mexican heritage allows me to
Yeah.
take the sun a little bit better.
Oh, that's fine, but you're not going to be able to take the sun a little bit better if it's 110 every day and you're just letting yourself cook in it.
Yeah, I can.
No,
It's suntan lotion.
You'll look like one of those weird old people that's just like made of leather.
Just
Sunburn sucks. Yeah. Tyler can speak to that.
Wind
I can.
wind burn in the winter sucks too.
But you can cover your face.
It still hurts.
Not if your face is covered. Whereas in the summer, like, yeah, you can cover up, but then you're going to sweat your balls off because you're wearing a long sleeve shirt.
Yeah, I guess.
Sounds terrible.
yeah.
And just like you can't do anything in the winter when it's real cold, I can't do anything in the summer when it's real hot because I walk outside and pass out and then I'm just laying on my sidewalk all day. Like, it's terrible.
I struggle with this one
It's hard.
because honestly, I hate both.
I do. In the winter, though, like, I don't have shit going on anyway, so I
Right.
might as well just stay inside and drink beer by myself in the dark.
The other reason I thought of this is I feel like I've been asked this question before, and depending on the time of year,
That's true.
my answer changes.
So in the
Right
wintertime,
now-
you're like, this sucks.
Yeah,
I'd
like
take
I would rather be in
Recency
100-degree
bias.
heat where I
Yes,
could sit in the
100%.
AC and not have to deal with the cold. And then if it's super hot out, I'm like, nah, I could take it. I could take some winter days right now, crank the heat up, sit in the hot tub, and not have to worry about it.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's gonna change. So right now, I'm gonna say I'd rather have the hot days. We'll revisit this in a couple months and see if our answers change.
come July, we'll pose the
Like,
same
all right, we're done.
question.
Yeah, hopefully the AC is still working, or we might not be doing too well in here.
I'm just saying I'd rather, like, hang Christmas lights with the coat on than be mulching and sweating my bag off. Also, you get less smelly in the winter.
But when I look at it, like, I can still go golf 9 holes and it's 100 degrees. And I can just walk slow and drink water and golf 9 holes.
Well, see,
When
for
it's
me-
35 below out, there's nothing recreational outside that I enjoy. Zero.
See, for me, it's kind of a horse piece because if it's 105, I'm not going outside anyway because then that's not enjoyable for me because I'm so hot that I would rather be dead.
But you can go out and go in a pool or the lake, and that's refreshing.
Probably not even when it's that hot.
Sure it is. Can you go outside when it's 35 below and feel refreshed with anything?
It is kind of refreshing. You're like, oh, cold. Wakes you
It's
up.
almost like drinking a thing of coffee. In the morning.
Exactly.
Well, I don't drink coffee, so I guess I don't understand that feeling.
And coffee doesn't really do anything for me.
Yeah,
I wish caffeine affected me more than it does.
that's all the soda and stuff we drank as kids. We built an immunity to it.
All right, well, these guys are wrong, so we'll check back later and then at least one of them will be right.
6 months from now, we'll revisit.
My answer will most definitely change.
I just hate being hot so much. Wow. I'd like to move on to something that has been weighing heavy on my heart these days. And that's the fact that we haven't been to a bar in a while.
Yeah.
One might say it's been a while.
It's been a while.
Yep. I personally am not like a giant bar goer. I'm by no means like a regular. I don't go every week or even, every other week probably. But sometimes a guy just wants to go to $10 all-you-can bar fight at Kip and Deb's. Which is a great deal, I gotta say.
That is a great deal.
Yeah.
For only $10, you get to watch people beat each other up.
And drink.
And drink.
Yes.
Whatever you want. Well, not whatever you want, but as much as you want of.
I don't know how anyone makes any money on that gig, but
Tap beer is cheap.
guess so. Even then, I feel like I could put away $10 worth of tap
I
beer.
was going to say, I feel like the last time I went, I made my money. I made it worth my money in about, 25 minutes.
Very likely.
Maybe it's not even that I miss so much going, but I miss like being able to go, having the opportunity.
Yeah. What are we doing tonight? You want to go to the bar? Oh, never mind. Can't go to the bar.
I agree. I don't think that I'm a barfly or Kim's a barfly or anything.
Kim's a little bit wild.
Yeah, she gets wild and crazy sometimes, but just to go out and like, hey, it's Friday night. Let's go to cruise and have a couple beers and just like whatever. Pretend we're adults that can do whatever they want whenever they want. I do agree that I miss those days of
It just is sucky, You can, even now, like, occasionally you might, like, go to a bar and have dinner. But even then, like, you wear a mask in and you sit in the corner by yourself and you eat your food quick and get the hell out.
yeah.
And even then, like, much less than you probably used to.
Yep.
I could, like, at least for us, like, we used to go to cruise or somewhere or the watershed or whatever. I don't know about once a week, but, like, pretty regularly we were, like, would go out for dinner.
I agree. We would do the same. And it was nice for us, like, having kids, like, and our kids are old enough now, like, hey, it's Friday night. Mom and Dad are going to cruise. We're going to have dinner and a few drinks, and we'll be home in a couple hours. Like, we just get away from everything for a little bit and, like, just Kim and Jake again. And, yeah, it's hard to do that now.
Yeah, it's just sucky. Part of my wishing things could get back to some kind of normal. And it's for that reason that I'd probably be like, hey, if someone was standing outside my door with a needle, I'd probably be like, yeah, poke me, man. If that's what I can do to, like, help society get back to normal,
Yeah.
Yep.
terrific.
Yeah.
If I grow an extra arm, whatever, man.
Then you have 3 hands to drink with when you go back to Kip and
That's what I'm
Deb's.
saying. All positives here.
Yeah, it's perfect.
But when you're at the bar, in an ideal world, things get all fixed up and we can start to do fun shit again. Do you prefer a divey, dumpy bar, or are you more of like a nicer establishment?
I'm a divey guy because
That surprises me. You're kind of a fancy boy.
I am not a fancy boy. I grew up here and cruise in, and hell, I used to even go to Sweeney's when Sweeney's was around.
That's a hot spot.
Yeah, right.
now
Now,
they're
now it's a
fancy.
fancy bar. I'm not sure that's my style, but
I haven't been in there.
I haven't either. So, but yeah, thinking like between Kip and Deb's and Cruise In, and even we used to frequent the Zenda Tap from time to time, and
The old ZT.
now that's pretty divey.
Yeah, I'd say.
And then when we go up north, like for hunting and visiting relatives, like we go to a small town called Augusta. That's like every bar there is a dive bar. So, I think I've grown up on dive bars. And in Madison, yeah, there's some fancy bars, but we never went to those because they cost more money too. So I'd rather go to the dive bar and drink like a $1.25 beer than the fancy bar where it cost me $3.75.
I agree. And your standards tend to automatically like knock down a few notches when you walk into a dive bar. You're like, oh, PBR's the special tonight.
I'm in.
Okay.
I'll take 2 of those.
I would agree. I don't. There aren't many classy bars. I mean, went to school in La Crosse. There weren't a whole lot of classy bars on 3rd Street. There was one, I believe it was called the Starlight Lounge. Not bad. We went in a couple times, but it was very like old school. Like
Was Starlight ever there?
no, she was not. This was
Because I'd go to
before-
that place.
Yeah, I'd be there.
No, this was before that. This was like an
Oh.
old style like martini bar kind
Oh,
of.
Sure.
yeah.
Had
See,
the
and I
big
don't drink
circle
those.
booths.
Kinda
and
like
it
the-
wasn't a bad spot.
Kind of like the Kitty Cat
Um,
Club.
Yeah.
I can't wait
um,
to take you there when we go on our trip. Partly because I only partially remember it, because that was the Cinco de Mayo. It's the only time I've ever been there.
I can't wait.
That was the last stop, I think.
Yeah, I don't even know if I'd call it classy because other than like the way it looked, it was still just a regular college bar. They had dollar shots. They had a bunch of cheap drink specials. So, you know, I think I go dive all the way. And growing up, my mom's uncle owned a bar, still owns a bar up north. So, like that's when we went to visit family. We were at the bar, and that was by no means a classy bar.
Well, and I think we're all very similar, like in the blue collar style of things. So I think that makes a difference. Like when I go into a bar, like my preferred choice is like if I can wear like jeans and a hooded sweatshirt,
sure.
or like like I'm gonna be super comfy. Like I don't need to put on my loafers and like a button up and like wear a sweater tied around my neck or anything like that. Like the difference between the KK or College Club in Madison versus like the Red Shed, right? Like I'll go to the Red Shed 10 out of 10 times because I'm going to fit in there and feel more comfortable with like people that I think I relate to more than necessarily the other side of it. So I think that's all kind of similar for us.
I would agree. When I was in college, all like the nicer bars were like downtown. So I just kind of stuck to like the on-campus area in Dinkytown, and that was where like Blarney's was there, and that's just like the classic Irish pub, like that kind of thing where you can kind of, you know what you're getting, and it is, like you said, cheaper, but also just like a more relaxed vibe.
Yep.
What do you do? What kind of bar fly are you? You do anything? Do you sit at the bar? All right, first, do you sit at the bar or do you sit at a table?
It depends who I'm with. If I'm with a group of people, if it's just Kim and I, we're going to sit at a table and drink our drinks and maybe order food or whatever, even like a late night pizza or something. Like, but if it's like, if we're going out, I imagine we're going to sit at a bar, or if like we're going out with plus ones, we'll probably sit at like a high top away from the bar, but not necessarily a table. I used to be a lot more like, I used to play a lot more pool and a lot more darts. I don't know why. Maybe I'm getting old and
You are.
crotchety.
No, sure.
But now I don't like. I'll throw the occasional dart game once in a while. I'm not very good at pool, so I tend to shy away from that. But mostly go to the bar to like just get out, have a few beers, and like shoot the shit with, friends. I don't know. That's when I was younger, like especially college. Like we were going to the bar and it was dart night every night, pool night all the time. Like we'd go to bars and make sure they had plenty of pool tables. We'd go to the next one if it was crowded. More active bar stuff.
I'd say similar. If we're going with a larger group, I think it's harder to sit at a bar because you don't want then you have to decide, well, who am I going to sit with?
Right. Yeah.
Are we going to sit at a corner so we can still talk to everybody? And then so I normally I think I would sit at the bar just because I don't go to the bar with a large group of people. And the largest group, like we can normally fit at like the corner and be okay. Back in college, we did go as a large group, and you usually had to get there pretty early to get a spot at the bar. We usually like our game plan when we were going downtown was you find a spot, find like one or two spots at the bar. You always put someone there, and then you just kind of huddle around so that you always had a spot to go get drinks. But it always like rotated. So like when someone got up from the group, someone else had to take their spot. So I feel like I'm kind of similar still. Like I don't like to when I sit at a bar too long and I'm just there like drinking and hanging out, I get like antsy and I have to like stand up after a while.
You start
It's
to
just-
feel like one of those townies that
Yeah.
goes there every day after
So
work.
like I tend to stand up and like walk around a little bit, or even like at my spot. I could be standing at the same spot I'm sitting, but I feel way more comfortable standing and leaning up against a bar. I don't know. That it has to go back to my days in college because that's just what we did.
That's interesting too. I agree with that because like if someone comes over to talk to me or if we're in a group of people talking, I don't like to be the guy sitting down. Now, I'm short enough to begin with, so I totally get that, but throw me on a bar stool that takes away another 6 or 12 inches and I'm constantly looking up at everybody talking, whereas I'd rather stand up and maybe, just an elbow on the bar and talk to people that way. I feel more comfortable to converse with people.
Yeah. Well, and I think standing at the bar, you can turn multiple. I mean, I'm not stuck.
Yeah.
Sitting, you're either stuck or you got to like turn the chair. And it depends, I guess, at the bar too, because sometimes they got the old swivel chairs, so that helps. But
Nothing better than
I like
a
to
swivel
stand,
stool.
like you said, with an elbow, so I can talk, and then I can always turn to the other side or turn all the
Yep.
way back around. It feels a little bit more comfortable that way. So I guess I'm more of a bar guy.
For me, I think that it is almost entirely dependent on the number of people that I'm with. Like if it's Katie and I, even then, if we're just there having dinner, like we'll sit somewhere else probably. But if we're just going to have a beer, we sit at the bar.
Mm-hmm.
But then I would say, is 4 a reasonable number? If there are 4 people in my party, we'll probably sit at the bar.
4 or fewer.
Yep. And then
I would say that because, like Tyler said, if you get too many more, then it's hard to
if
you're on this end, you
Yelling
can't talk to
down,
3
hey,
people on the
bartender,
other
yeah,
end.
Go tell that person.
Yeah.
And then
Go ask John
relay-
how his day
relay
was
them.
last
Yes.
week at hunting.
Yeah.
Then beyond that, I think we usually get a table, and that's when you start getting into pictures and
Shots.
games. And
Yeah.
So are you an active game guy when you go to the bar?
I am not a pool player or dart guy. I'm bad at them, and darts makes my elbow hurt. I don't know if you guys have heard or not, but I once had a wrestling injury, so now I can't throw
Oh my
darts
gosh,
at the
you
bar. Yeah,
You'll have to tell us.
When
about
did that happen?
yeah. Well,
Maybe we should
Was this
dedicate an
was this a
episode
high
to
school
that.
injury?
it was, yeah. Unfortunately,
This
freshman year.
probably derailed a very prominent wrestling career.
And dart career.
Jeez.
Sure. Yeah.
I like to throw darts sometimes. I
Take
have
you
a
off the
dartboard.
World Dart Tour.
I have a dartboard that I still haven't hung up. We should probably do that.
You already picked a spot. We were talking about hanging it
We
back
did.
at Halloween, and here we are, January 2022.
It's just
21.
it's just sitting on the floor, leaning against the wall where it needs to go straight up.
Well, you know where it's gonna be.
I know that's half the battle. I like throwing darts. We used to throw a lot of darts in Jeter's garage. Before I started coaching football, that fall. So I guess that was probably my first fall back here out of school. I would go to the high school football game and get free chicken sandwiches from the baseball coaches running concessions, and then I'd go to Jeter's and we'd drink all night and throw darts in his garage.
And then your arm would fall off because it
That's
hurt so
nice.
bad.
Yeah, but enough beer kind of helps. With
Yeah, that's true.
that. I'm the kind of game player whether it's rolling dice at the bar.
Nothing like a good 6-5-4.
Yeah. 7, 14, 21.
That's fun.
Yep.
All these good ones. Additionally, if we're at Kip and Deb's, I don't feel as worried about carry-ins as far as extra shit.
Yeah.
So I'll bring Past the Deck. Past the Deck is pretty much an ideal $10 all-you-can bar fight game.
That is a great $10 you can bar fight game.
I thought-
That's the perfect one.
I found another game that's similar to it, and I might pick that up because the Past the Deck cards are getting a little stale. So I might just try basically just a different version of the same exact thing.
Yeah.
Have you been a part of Past the Deck
I have
yet?
not.
Oh, heavens.
So we'll have to play at least once more with him.
Yep.
Sometimes you just have to name state capitals, but sometimes everybody takes their pants off. Yeah, it just kind of depends.
Gosh, I've played a couple times. I don't remember that card.
Everybody always skips it because everyone's a bunch of quitters.
Okay,
you
maybe
skip
that's
it?
why. I think I remember getting it the first time we played it at Kip and Deb's, and it was decided maybe not in this establishment.
At least not that early in the evening.
Yeah, it was pretty early, and I think honestly it was I don't think it was a Saturday. Might have been. No, maybe it was.
I think it was.
It might have been.
And we had a very random, real ragtag group of people.
Yeah, it was. And I came in late, so you guys were.
If
already
there was
partially
all
in.
a bunch of dudes and you got take off your pants, still go through with it.
Whatever it takes to win.
Yeah. It's just pants.
Yeah, dude. Ain't no thing.
Doesn't say underpants.
Now, there's one card that says go around the table, taking off one article of clothing at a time until the last person remains. So as soon as somebody says
They're done?
I gotta stop. Then they're out.
Yeah, I don't know if we've ever played that one either.
No, that's the one, and nobody
Well,
ever
yeah.
does it.
That'll be okay. Like I'd be willing to go down to the wire with somebody. I'd probably get down my boxers.
I've been all the way down to the wire.
Like your birthday suit wire.
Yeah, hard to say.
It's
I
neither
wasn't
here nor there.
I wasn't
here
here
nor
for
there.
that game, so wasn't involved.
Thank God I wasn't there for that game.
I actually was just playing that by myself.
Oh,
Did you
so
win?
You won, right?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, that's good.
No wonder you were so
Well, it
comfortable.
was Tuesday morning, and I was about to get in the shower.
Oh, okay. You just pulled the
Yeah.
perfect card.
I just happened to be.
Hey Katie, I'm playing Pat Sadek. You in? No, I know what card you're gonna pull.
So it was just me by myself. So that's kind of how I operate at the bar. However, whether at a bar or drinking at home or at a party or something, my number one all-time favorite drinking activity is sing-alongs.
Karaoke night.
Yeah.
All that I want to do is just sit around and get real litty and sing songs. That's all I want.
I had no idea you had such a love of music.
Oh, I'm a big music guy. So, yeah. I'll spend more money on the jukebox than I will on drinks. And just,
Well, that happens at $10 all-you-can bar fight.
it does.
Well, that's easy to blow
Pretty
it up.
easy.
You're right.
Like, all of a sudden, I'm like, ah, damn it. Why do I have $80 in Touch Tunes receipts? Happens to the best of us. But, like, that's my favorite thing, is just to get all drunk up and sing songs. It's preferred when other people participate, but I'm not opposed to doing it by myself if I have to. Even if, like, other people are playing a game, it comes a certain point in the evening where, like, I don't care. And I just sit there
Game
and I'm
off.
just in my own little world. Just singing songs. So that's my favorite. But other than that, like, if we can have some kind of interactive game, whether it's a card game or playing euchre. I also love to play euchre at the bar.
Yeah. I used
Or-
to play euchre a lot more when I was younger.
We should start.
I'm in. Tyler,
Um,
do you want to play euchre?
yeah.
We just need. Does Katie know how to play euchre?
She refuses to play euchre. Yeah.
Wow.
Don't worry, we've
she
had
might
this-
have to move out.
We've had this conversation a few times.
Well, we just need a fourth.
Coming from a guy with a dog named Euchre, it's kind of a deal breaker for me.
Well, I'm sure we could find a fourth to come in and be a guest on the show and play a game of euchre with us.
That would be exhilarating. We could do a bonus
It could
episode.
be Big Will, but let me tell you, he's going to be your partner, not mine or Tyler's.
Does he suck ass?
Oh, pick it up.
He is
pick
the
it up.
luckiest
Pick it up. Pick it up. Pick it up.
player
Pick it up. Will, you
in the
have
history
3
of
9s
euchre.
and 2 10s. Pick it up. Pick it up. Pick it up. Pick it up. I think that's the only thing he knows how to say when he
No.
plays euchre.
Well, that might be the only thing he knows how to say anyway. I have been known to BEAGGRESSIVE, but not to that extent.
Oh, there are. So we played up at the state wrestling tournament where we taught Will, and Don Roos and his son are very good euchre players, and Don plays a lot, and he grew up bartending and whatever, played all over. And there were a few times where his eyes got real big, and he looked at Will like, "What are you doing?" And it was just like, and like 80% of the time it worked for him. He's like, "Well, it worked. Why wouldn't you do it this way?"
That was his phrase for the whole weekend. It worked.
Like,
Like
no.
you got so lucky
Oh,
That sounds like classic Will
it,
operation.
it is. Yep. That's Big U right there.
Yeah. Oh, yes. So the jukebox. Is that a just me thing, or are you a jukebox guy?
I'm
Do you
not
just
a
kind of let it rock as whatever's playing?
Yeah, I kind of let it rock. If I'm out with a group of like, if I go out with you and like, hey, you're into it, then I'm like, yeah, I'll throw some money into it. Like, but if I'm out with people that like, we just kind of whatever's on, we'll just kind of sing along to it and jam and no big deal. Otherwise, I have to be with like, I'm not the guy that's gonna go instigate throwing money in the jukebox. But if I'm with people that are, then I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna get my tunes out of there too. So yeah, then I go along with it at that point.
It's a process. You
gotta feel comfortable.
feel comfortable, and you have your kind of handful of go-to songs.
Yeah, definitely.
At least to start, and then you can start mixing in whatever you want.
I go right to the throwbacks.
Well, that's because you're an old man.
Well, and that's when
What
they don't call them the good old days for no reason. They're the good old
what's
days.
one throwback you would use?
Well, if there's anything that has a little Tupac in it, I'm gonna
Oh,
throw
okay.
that up there instantly.
That's not the kind. I guess I don't know
Not
what
what
I
I
expected to be your throwback, but okay.
I
That
look
fits
back at
pretty
my,
well.
my college days. Like, what did we listen to when we were sitting in the dorm room
Johnny Horton.
drinking the
Conway
old
Twitty.
Milwaukee's best,
I love.
or
Play a little Conway.
yeah. See, I'm not all country music though.
Well, you
so
should be.
I'm a very wide variety guy.
Oh,
Actually,
same. I got a whole shitload of different stuff going on.
Say,
Throw a
you
little
might
Dave-
have the widest.
throw a little
variety of
Dave Matthews in
anyone.
there.
I'm an interesting case where I probably like country music more than anyone does, and generally that's pretty much what I listen to. However, when it comes to like, I'm going drinking, the things really open up.
Bar Time Colin plays a good amount of country, but there is a lot of
Oh, it's obscure.
yeah.
Meatloaf,
Everyone's looking around like,
I
what
play some
is this?
Beastie Boys.
Akon.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not a big jukebox guy. Like I've done it, and it's not a big deal. But I have, like when I go with you, that's your thing. So I don't really jump onto it. Like I sometimes throw out suggestions, but if it doesn't come on, whatever, it's not a big deal. And even in college, when we go to the few bars that had that, I was never that guy. It was always my friends that took care of it. But again, it was always like the same. Like they had their playlist to go through. Our biggest thing in college was like a couple of our favorite bars. Like they had their own playlist. They didn't have a jukebox.
Nice.
So it was, we'd go to this bar, and when this song came on, it was like, all right, time to wrap things up. We're going to go to the next bar. And then, you had these 12 songs. Oh, this song's on. It's the last call for us. We're heading to the next one. Or, like, it depended on, there was one bar, I think it was called Shooters. I don't honestly remember because we didn't go very often, but that was like, if you wanted a 90s throwback playlist, like Fall Out Boy, Smash Mouth, like anything you heard in the late 90s and early 2000s, like that was the place. And it was the same. It never changed. Like if you walked in at 11 o'clock, Monday through Sunday, it's the same song playing. Like I don't know how they had it set up perfectly. But that's where I liked those kind of bars where I didn't have to worry about listening to it. I'm like, oh, all right, bangers on. We're gonna stop talking. We're gonna sing along. We're gonna dance.
And when it's over, it's time to go to the
When
next
it's
bar.
over, like when we hear this song, like, all right, hey, everyone's got to finish their drink. I don't care if you just got it. That's your fault for not knowing, not knowing the list. But that happened a couple times. We're trying to get drinks and it takes a little longer, and group's leaving, song's over. We don't want to listen to the next couple songs, or we want to get somewhere else and jump on the playlist. So
Yeah, that's cool.
I think the real key thing is to get in with the bartenders so that they take money out of the till and stuff it in the jukebox and then just leave it, and then you can go play whatever you want for free.
Yep.
Yeah.
We used to go to Cruise Inn a lot more pre-COVID, and
Theirs is free after 9, isn't it?
I don't know if it still is. Is it?
I don't know.
It used to be because we go down there back when a couple of my close buddies from high school lived closer to the area. We go there a lot more. Like at least every week, and we would do that. We were used to be a big Golden Tee guy too. Like I don't know if you guys played much Golden Tee, but I remember one summer we actually all got our Golden Tee cards, so we were kind of nerdy that way. But we'd go there like on a Sunday afternoon, and play like 3 hours of Golden Tee and get schnockered up. But yeah, we would get in good. We'd be there long enough with the bartender, and they'd be like, you know what? Here, throw a couple songs in there that everybody's gonna like. So yeah, I'll totally get that. And
good.
they did use. I don't know if it still is free, but when it was free after 9, like, we were lining up for doing that.
Which is an interesting technique because that's when people want to play the jukebox.
Right.
Yeah,
You'd
you'd
think
think
you'd-
it would
you'd
double
make
the
it-
cost then.
Free during the day.
You'd make it free up until maybe 9.
Yes.
And then everyone has already been playing with it and like, oh, great, now I got to pay? Fine. And they're just throwing money to play
And
the songs.
they've had 2, 3, 4 drinks
Right.
by now, so they're willing to open up that wallet.
when
and
we
shove
open
a 10 in instead
the
of
What
a
the
1.
Heck bar.
We got to
That's
remember
what we're
that.
doing.
Free jukebox until 8.
I would only
And it's
even consider opening
$8
a
a
bar
song.
after I was financially stable enough that it didn't matter if I made any money because I feel like it's so hard to make money at a bar.
Well, and we would drink a lot of our money away. I think.
Yeah.
That's true.
I think it'd be fun like for a little while, and then after a while, I'd be like, okay, I probably got to slow her down a little.
Is there anyone out there that we could think to maybe manage it for us? So all we had to do was just be the owners.
And just could like show up and
Yeah.
And drink for
Like,
free
hey,
and
yeah. I'm
party.
here
at-
watching
keep
everybody.
it, I'm watching,
But you're
you.
running it. You're running the show.
And free jukebox.
Right. Maybe we'll
'Cause
we'll
we're the
get our
owners.
own cards.
Yes. One more jukebox note is that these apps, AMI or TouchTunes or whatever, game changer.
Yeah, for sure.
Don't
Now
you
that I
have
can
to
just-
get up?
You just
Yes.
sit there at the bar and just add them to the Quayway.
It's dangerous.
You could probably talk to Big Willie. Maybe he would manage our bar for us.
I don't know. We'd have to do
Part-time
some
football coach,
psychological
part-time bar manager.
I think we could do it. I think we could get him to do it.
testing. Well, I know that we could get him to do it. I'm worried if that's the
I
choice
think we
want.
could get him to
Do
do
we
a-
want him
a
to
good
do it?
job. He wouldn't want to disappoint all three of us.
I don't think
He
gives
would-
a shit what
He
anyone
would
thinks.
disappoint me on purpose.
Yeah,
He'd
sure.
be going around telling everyone to pick it up, so it'd be a super clean bar.
That's true.
That's true.
Well,
To
we'll
the
have
day when the
consider
What
that.
the Heck bar opens up.
We'll
Or any
put it in
bar.
an
It's already
application.
open. We just have to buy it,
That's true.
right? My brother, Superior Reese, found the
Oh yeah.
The
That's
What
also
the
a
Heck.
liquor store, isn't it?
Yep.
Wasn't it a combo?
Yep.
Man,
That's the kind
Up
of
in
bar
the
I want.
up
There's
north.
a place
Up
in
north, eh?
Spooner.
There's a place in Savannah called the River Rats, which is the weirdest goddamn place I've ever seen. It's like there's a convenience store, so you could like go buy some Doritos and a 6-pack of beer, and a bar, and since every single building that has a door down there has video gaming in it, there's some of that stuff. But like you can like go to the bar. Apparently, I don't know. I've not been out there. Kitty claims that you can go to the bar and be like, "I'd like a bag of sour cream and onion Lay's," and they'll just get you that and like put it on your tab. Like the convenience store part like closes at a certain time, but you can still buy shit
Send
from the
them.
store from the bartender.
That would be awesome. I'd be in there at like 1:30 and be like, "Can you get me a box of Pop-Tarts?"
Isn't that wild?
Never need to go anywhere after the bar ever again.
No.
Bar close. Oh, I need those 2 frozen pizzas right there.
Yeah.
And a box of Pizza Puffs, maybe.
Yep. And a
Yikes.
box of Jimmy's. And a box of Marlboros.
And a couple of Slim Jims for the
Maybe-
road.
Maybe a bottle of water.
And those weird goat weed pills that they sell in the bathroom.
And a couple of ibuprofen bottles.
Granted, that place closed. Went out of business.
Aw.
So apparently,
that's sad.
apparently it wasn't that good of an idea.
Apparently
Well,
the business.
Probably couldn't handle the pandemic.
Well, that could be.
That's
I think the sign, though, says opening soon. So
perfect.
I'm still waiting. At some point, we need to take a weekend and go to Savannah for a few reasons. One, now I guess River Rats.
Yeah.
But also mostly Manny's with the pizza and the deep fried tacos.
Oh, yeah.
Which, might add, minor side note, I'm currently trying to not be a fat ass anymore. And this weekend I had Manny's and also a piece of DQ ice cream cake for Katie's birthday. and I still lost 2 pounds over the weekend.
Dang.
Nice work.
Hell yeah.
I was like, oh, great. This is all going to hell. Might as
All
well
the
just
hard
start
work.
over. So now we can eat deep fried tacos all the time.
Yep, that's how it works.
Part of a real diet.
For the final segment, we haven't done a draft, I think, since the quarantine house draft, in which you picked Hank Yoit.
Hank Voight, all right? He's a badass.
He's stupid.
And The Rock. You know they're badasses.
The Rock's badass. The other guy is not.
I'm sorry, whose house won that, though?
Was it yours? I don't even remember who
It
the
was
hell was
I
in
Tyler's.
your
think it
house.
was mine.
Did you have
Tyler's.
like Napoleon Dynamite and stuff?
Kind
Yeah.
of. I had Dwight.
Yeah,
Oh,
Dwight.
close.
Dwight
Very
Schrute pretty much
close.
carried it over. And The Last Man Standing.
Eve.
Oh, yeah,
Eve.
Eve.
Yeah.
But the older
old-
Eve,
very
not the younger Eve.
Very specific.
Very specific
Jesus, I
Eve.
shouldn't even brought it up.
Between the age of 17 and 18 and a half. You freak. So anyway, this time I want to talk about video games. Something
Nice.
that I don't have that much time to play, but sometimes I do. And sometimes I fall asleep during it. I have a hard time with that.
While you're actually playing a video game.
Yeah, from time to time. I'll get a whole shitload of backcourt violations or like
Delay
delayed
games.
It'll be like 1st and 70. It's tough, man.
Maybe you have narcolepsy.
No, I don't. It's all fine. Everything's
maybe.
fine.
Can't hurt to get tested.
God. Anyway, we're each going to select 4 video game franchises. It includes the entire franchise, so you can't pick Madden 04 and I pick Madden 07.
Who
Not
would
allowed.
pick Madden 07. Madden 04, I would totally
Madden
pick.
04 was
Yeah,
my
for
pick.
Michael
sure.
Vick on the cover?
NCAA
Oh.
14, pretty good also.
Ooh.
So you get to pick the whole franchise. It can be oldie style games. It can be new stuff.
Oh, so like Pong?
Yeah, well, if you want to pick the Pong franchise, that's all good. But then we'll put it out to the world and see who has the best video games.
Hmm.
But I don't want you to pick based on I think that
I think that
4
my
moms-
hecklers are going to like
I think
this.
that the moms are gonna like
I'm
it more.
picking for
if-
me.
Yeah, I'm picking for me.
Hey, I proved it. When I picked Hank Voight, it wasn't for anybody out in heckler land.
Yeah, it really
Yeah.
went over well.
Ain't nobody.
Hey,
picked-
there was a bunch of people who commented that they liked mine. I took second,
He
by the
just
way.
wanted to make you feel
I
good.
took
Yeah,
second
they
over
did.
you.
They for
So
sure did. My house was lit.
you're salty.
My house was lit.
Your house was pretty cool.
Too bad it was third
Pretty
place.
bad.
I don't.
I
everyone
think
apparently
you
has
didn't.
shitty
You didn't
taste.
get many votes because people didn't know who you chose.
Yeah,
That's the
true.
problem.
That's probably true. Whatever. Stupid people.
You
Yeah.
stay true to you.
Win
They
some,
just-
you lose
they
some.
just don't understand.
That's what
me.
we're doing.
Okay.
Who goes first in this rat
Hard to
race?
say. I was gonna write our names down on some paper and I forgot to do so.
That's all right. I won't take first.
You go first. You're the host with the most.
Hey, all right. I'll go first. This is a snake draft, by the way.
Okay. Well, then let's just go you, Tyler, me, and then me, Tyler, you. Easy peasy.
All right. All right. All right. All right. All right. All right. Let me just get a little thing going on here. I, with
Don't
my
wanna
first
forget it.
choice, am going to choose Madden.
I knew it.
Yeah.
Figured that'd be
Saw
it.
that one coming.
Yeah,
It's a classic.
it is. And like you said, 04, 12. I mean, there's no year that is bad. Some are better than others. I will
Some
definitely
are
give you that.
Definitely better, but even the worst ones are very good.
Yeah.
All
So
right.
is that to me then?
Yeah, I think so.
Well, I'm gonna pick to me. I'm a very big game guy. I am gonna go with Halo.
Strong. I was never a Xbox guy, so I don't have a ton of experience in the Halo world. However, the little experience I have, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's awesome.
I'm going to go with I used to be a bigger game guy when I was younger, and then
Yes.
kids came into
I
the
should
world.
preface,
And,
I play very little video games.
yeah, in college, I was a big game, and then even until kids came into the world. But I remember in college, like the whole floor, like literally the whole floor of my dorm would get together and have these huge 007 tournaments.
Ooh, pretty good.
Goldeneye.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Those games, like, because
I
that was when they first hit the
love-
market. Like,
Yeah.
you say Halo, but like Bond was probably like
Oh yeah.
the original Halo and all these other games, like kick ass. Like,
I played some Goldeneye.
Was that like on N64?
I think so. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Those were awesome. Some paintball mode.
Yeah. Oh man, I'm not saying I was good at it, especially after you throw 6 or 7 soda pops at me. It got a little difficult. And back then we had TVs smaller than the size of your computer screen, so throw 4 split screens on that bad boy.
That probably didn't help also.
And the graphics.
Yeah. Yes, they were not Halo graphics. There's no doubt about that.
What else you got?
Oh yeah, I
Sneaking
get to
back.
go again. I just had one, but it escaped me. But I'm gonna go with NCAA football.
Yeah. that
Before they took it
sucks.
off the market, and I hope they bring it back. Like
I
again,
heard they're looking at bringing
thi-
it back.
yeah, I heard
back,
that
like,
too.
this
That's
summer.
seriously all I want.
because see, realistically, I don't think there was a bad year of that either.
No, they were all great.
And you could play with like the most obscure teams.
Yeah.
The Wofford Terriers.
Yeah.
Oh,
And you're like, I don't even know who this is, but they got a great wide receiver, and he's a slot guy, and I'm just gonna throw to him every single time.
And
they-
mascot mode.
Yeah.
Where you
They-
can play like with Syracuse and there's
Yes.
just a bunch of oranges running around.
they really stepped up their game with 14 because that's when you could, in your dynasty, remake all the conferences.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that was the year the Big Ten
Yeah.
added everybody, so you could remake it all.
Yep.
Oh, it's perfect.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah. That was awesome.
Yeah. I still play some NCAA 14 from
The
time to
world's best franchise. I should have taken it number 1 overall.
I
time.
knew it'd be between Madden and
If
that.
you did, I would have taken Madden first.
I know. It's tough.
Because I do love NCAA football, but Madden just
Madden's
is still so
timeless.
current. Yeah.
Madden 95 on the Super Nintendo.
Yep.
Yes.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tyler.
My second choice. So like I said, I'm a pretty big gamer, especially not now with wrestling. I don't have a whole lot of time, and usually during the week at least, I'm like, if I'm not at school or at wrestling, I'm sitting down not doing anything. Gaming is usually a little bit. I'm too tired to do it, and it sounds funny, but I just don't have the energy to get into it. But I have been playing a lot of Assassin's Creed, and that's a series that I really didn't get into until kind of like the middle of college.
Oh, heavens.
Um,
I spelled assassins wrong.
Assassins. But yeah, that's probably one of my favorites ever.
I will, with my second round selection, select Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah. I literally had 3 in my head, and there goes one of them.
Yikes.
That was a game that my mama never let me play.
You had to play it at your friend's houses.
Yeah, so like very rarely. But then in college, I got GTA 5, and that was like when that came out, that was the bee's knees.
I still play it.
It's still the bee's knees. You're right.
Just need to come up with
See,
another.
I was old enough when it came out that I didn't have to have my mama tell me I couldn't play it. So
Like San Andreas,
There's
I always had
no
to go to
rules.
my buddy's house.
yeah,
My problem with games, and it really applies to all of these. Madden, I'm probably the best at out of the options, but still, like I don't claim to be like a good Madden player. I don't ever play any games online because if you don't play online all the time, then everyone's way better than you, and it's
Yeah.
not fun.
Yeah, if you don't
and
get
your
on
ratings are
right
low,
away,
so
it sucks.
yeah.
So I don't ever play online. GTA is really the only exception.
Do you
And
play like against buddies though?
I will only play with a buddy. So like in college, I played with one friend, and he and I would like do heists together, or just like cruise around in my car and rob gas stations. But like I only play it like if I know
Right.
like one of my friends is playing, or Madden. If you get like a connected franchise, I'm into that as well. That's kind of nice when you're playing like in the same league with other people. But other than that, I play virtually no online gameplay. My start the third round. Oh, it's hard. It's just so hard.
I got 2 left. Don't take one of them.
I will be selecting The Sims.
Ooh,
Oh, totally forgot about that. That's old school.
Yeah.
I love me some
I used to
Sims.
be a big time Sims guy. And it really, there's something for everybody, or for every little stage of your pubescent development. You can, make a family with your 7th grade girlfriend. Or
That's what me and my friends
you
do.
can start to consider, your life plans and be an architect. Design a ridiculous house with no roof because you can't figure out how to make the roof tool work. And then you start.
You're not talking from experience.
No,
are you?
no, totally not.
Yeah.
It's like one button.
Yeah, no,
It's literally like it's right there.
it's all fine. Everything's fine. I one time I got The Sims Pets, but I got that for PlayStation. One of the PlayStations,
Oh,
probably
mhm.
2. I never got into it because it was too weird on PlayStation. That's totally a computer game for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've tried it on the Xbox because they have like The Sims 4,
Yeah.
and it was a free game. So I downloaded it, be like, why would I not at least try it? And it's fun, but it's also like it's way more in depth now. Like you have actual dialogue where the choices you make change how things happen. And it's a little bit harder, I feel like, with a controller than it was with just click and drag a mouse and hit some buttons on the keyboard.
I kind of think that I had The Sims 4 for PC and threw it in with the garage sale pile, but I may need to get it out of the garage sale pile and
I think
start
you
playing
should.
it.
It was a
Yeah.
fun game. I think
The
I'd like
Sims
it
are
better on a
so
computer
great. It's better on
than
the
I would
computer.
on, or like if I had a keyboard and mouse for my Xbox. I
Oh
think I'd
man,
like it
and
a
you
lot
put
better.
in that Rosebud code, and then all of a sudden you got a whole shitload of
money.
Oh
Man.
I wonder if that works on The Sims 4. I haven't tried that.
Go home and give it a
I
whirl.
wanted to just kind of play it normal and see what happened because I wanted to know how it was different.
I just love all like the little Sims tricks. Like, I'm kind of tired of this character. I'm gonna kill him off. So then you put in the swimming pool and delete the ladder, and then they just drown.
Just drown. Yep.
Or like build like a closet out in the middle of the yard and make them just stand in there and starve to death.
Yeah.
Really humane stuff.
Yeah.
You-
I mean,
Usually that was to the people that you didn't like in middle school,
Yes, for sure.
or if you had a friend that made you mad that day.
I think there's like a lot of valuable lessons in The Sims too. Like, oh, this baby's yelling, so I'm just gonna set it on the floor.
great parenting skills.
Well, I've got this plate of pancakes, but I got dishes on the counter, so I'm gonna carry it upstairs into the bedroom and set it on the
Set it on
nightstand.
Yes. There were a couple of glitches,
I thought it was.
but that was the fun part.
It's so good.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, you just woohoo twice and you're married. Man, life comes at you fast. All right, Tyler.
For my third round pick, I'm actually going to ask because it is I don't know if it's too broad of a franchise, but Star Wars.
I'll allow it because I love Star Wars.
Yep.
Okay.
You talking?
Judges say, okay.
What do you have in mind? Like KOTOR?
Well, that's what I'm thinking.
Battlefront?
Like, do I have to pick between Battlefront and like Fallen Order, or if is Star Wars all one?
I'd give it to you all one.
I'll give it to you. But there's so much. Have you played?
Yeah.
Have you played KOTOR?
Yeah, not in a long time. I played it like a
Oh
while
my
ago.
God.
I'm actually like, I made a new account on my laptop just in case I wanted to get back into it because you can still play it.
Knights of the
And-
Old Republic may be their finest work.
It was so fun, but I love
Bastila.
Battlefront.
Battlefront's
Oh.
good.
They're all so
Battlefront's
good.
good.
I
They had-
miss the original Battlefront.
For like the
Like
PlayStation,
PS2,
PlayStation
like-
2, yeah.
I have like the new one, Battlefront and Battlefront 2, when it came back out, and like that's fine.
Yep.
But you used to like be able to drive vehicles and do like just like cool shit. So good. I love Star Wars.
I played, well, not much right now, but I used to play a lot of Battlefront with some buddies from college, and that's like we got into the streaming game a little bit for that because not a lot of people stream Star Wars, but everybody loves Star Wars.
Right.
So we would do a lot of like the hero battles.
Mhm.
We were for sure, like if we could choose, we'd be dark side all the time.
100%.
They're always so much more powerful, and they have way cooler powers.
Yeah.
They do.
But also like Fallen Order. If you've never played Jedi Fallen Order,
I have it. I haven't gotten very far in it, but it's pretty
oh my
fun.
gosh, there are so many like twists and turns, and then all of a sudden like you get to the end and you're like, what? And you get to the cutscenes, and then there's some shit that happens, and I won't give it away for you guys or any of our listeners out there who haven't. But it fits like into the actual Star Wars universe. Like, it's
I
awesome.
gotta play some more.
Yep.
So my third pick is going to be old school, but they brought it into the new school. And so I'm pretty sure you guys probably did not play the old school that I played, but I'm positive you played the new school. I'm going Oregon Trail.
You bastard.
Oh,
Because
dang.
That was my last choice.
I mean, who doesn't, right? Like, you go back to The Sims, and
I
it's
love
like,
the original.
yeah, my 5 people on my wagon are my 2 best buds, and maybe a couple girls I got a crush on, and like, hope to God my buds die before the girls, like.
You don't want the girls dying
Oh.
of dysentery.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
always
exactly.
for your
Got it.
friends.
John
Everyone's
died
dead.
of dysentery. Oh, sorry, buddy. You died again today. Like,
Yep.
we used to play that in the computer labs at Walworth,
For sure.
and back on the, when we had the old floppy disks, and
Yep.
throw that bad boy in there.
Did
Mr.
Carter
Gogger,
tell you
Mr.
that,
Gogger was the computer guy back then and band guy. So
Did Carter tell you that was one of his like assignments for social studies?
no,
Right before break, they were talking about the Oregon Trail and everything. So she found one of the a simulator online that plays the original. So they had to go through and like track what happened
and
everything
talk
as their
about
assignment.
shitty graphics like the
You didn't even do
original on
anything.
like
you
a
click buttons and it just
Yeah.
does it for you.
like the little.
What do you
see
want
the
to do
little
here?
wagon just went
Yes,
like beep,
no.
beep, beep,
Yeah.
beep, beep, beep across the screen.
Just
I have maybe like a very slightly later version of it, still very old,
Yeah.
like PC. But you could at least hunt. in
Yeah,
that.
we can hunt on the ones I
Okay,
played.
So then
Yep.
maybe that was it because
But it was
super-
like
yeah.
you saw the tip of the gun come up, and you saw a rabbit hop across,
Yep.
and you pulled the
You
trigger,
just-
and you
and
saw
there's like the
a white
one-
bop
the
go
one
at it,
ball.
and the rabbit like tipped over.
Yep.
Yeah,
You shoot a bunch of buffalo.
yeah.
You'd spend
Buffalo
all,
feeds a family for a week.
You'd spend all of your bullets shooting buffalo, and then they'd be like, "Oh, you can only take 6 pounds of food back to the wagon."
you shot 4,000 pounds, but it can only take 50.
And you wasted 87
like,
bullets.
oh, this is why people killed others on the trail because they were just out shooting things.
Yeah.
That
Oh,
sucks. That was my last choice.
uh,
That's what I'm
Rats.
thinking.
that was one of the ones
I think
that.
I think I got a winner.
Yeah.
So for my final choice, this is a tough one because I had a couple, but I'm really going back again to my college days, more in my apartment with my 2 roommates, and we would play this. I don't even know, weekly. I mean daily, almost daily. And again, have a couple sodas. Some of the best stories I have from college are a few sodas deep. Getting in the big screen back then was nothing like the big screens we have now, but big
Here's this right
getting in the the 32-inch was like, boy, we got a big screen there. I'm gonna throw out Mario Kart
Yeah, pretty good choice as well.
because we would play on Monday night or a Sunday night, maybe sometimes Thursday nights with a case of beer and just 2 other guys, kind of like yourselves, where no matter what we're playing, like, you don't want to lose. These 2 guys were, boy, there was times where it broke out in maybe a little bit of a wrestling match. Maybe a couple fists were thrown, beer can got thrown, sometimes full, most of the time empty.
A little bit of drunk driving.
Very much so.
Yeah.
I mean, Rainbow Road, goddamn, I just couldn't. You get a few beers in me, and I just could not keep it on the trail to save my life.
Speaking of Rainbow Road, on my Facebook memories today, one of my friends tagged me in a meme of Rainbow Road, and it said, "Every time you see a shooting star, it's someone falling off of Rainbow Road." And I still laugh every time I see it every year. I think I got it like our freshman or sophomore year of college.
My favorite story that I'll throw out there real quick. We 3 of us playing on some random Thursday night, and we got a little soda deep, and Rainbow Road, one of my roommates was like, "Oh, I'm the best Rainbow Road ever. Like, you guys can't ever beat me." So the other 2 of us are like, "I don't care if you win, you don't care if I win. Like, he's not winning." So we totally ganged up on him, and like 6 races in a row, he did not win Rainbow Road, which he claimed to be his. So after like the last one, he like grabs the TV and he's like shaking it like mad, and he hits his face on it, and he cracks his front tooth right in half. And he looks at us and he's like, "Oh man, I hit my mouth. How's it look?" And we both are like, "Is it that bad?" No, it looks fine. He like steps out of the room we were playing into a hall mirror, and he's like, "Oh my God, my tooth is gone." We found it in my roommate's boot, like the tooth like cracked and fell in my other roommate's boot. And the funniest two parts to it were, one, he convinces, because it was like January, just a random day, he convinces mom that he was out scraping his car, and the scraper slid out and he hit his face on his windshield and split his tooth in half. So she paid for all of it.
Is that a
Yeah.
real thing?
I don't know. She bought it,
How hard do you lean on the scraper?
I guess, pretty hard.
Ah.
And two,
I
so
felt
it was
like
a Thursday
more likely
night.
that he hit his face with the scraper.
It was a Thursday night because Friday night, the next night, his best friend from high school went to Whitewater, and his best friend had set him up on a blind date the next night. So he was going down to Whitewater to go on this blind date. He's like, I'm gonna show up with half a tooth and be like, "Hey, baby, how you doing?"
Oh, what an embarrassing story. Not even the blind date, just losing that many times on Rainbow Road.
Yeah,
Yikes.
yeah. So sorry, I got a little off track there, but
Oh, that's good.
a lot of memories.
All right, so I have gone. I mean, my three are fairly recent. I'm gonna go a little bit farther back for my last one, and I'm gonna go with Donkey Kong.
Damn it!
I had
Was
Donkey-
that yours?
Yes, I'm getting crushed over here.
Ouch.
that was one
Sorry.
of the other ones I had too.
I
preferred
me
that to
Donkey
Mario.
Kong.
Really?
Yes.
See, and again, I probably played. I know you guys didn't have an Atari, so like I played like original,
The
Donkey
original where you're
Kong.
climbing
Yep.
up ladders.
But then you got Donkey Kong like as it evolved,
Yeah.
and it's another one of those like timeless games. Just
If-
it
if
evolved
they
with
were
the times.
to
We had the
redo
Super
it.
Nintendo, so we had
Yeah.
like
N64.
You just
had-
you just
Oh,
climb the ladder and jump the barrel. That was the very first game I
Yeah.
had. Like
I've played that one. I didn't. My parents got like when Atari
Came back?
came back,
Yeah.
like in the
Yeah.
early 2000s. I had one that had it, but my grandparents had like an original Atari, and we played that Pong. They kind of
Galactica.
Yep. My grandparents always got like when we upgraded, as one of the grandkids upgraded, they always got like the old one. So I think they're still sitting with a Super Nintendo. Just because now we're
I
all
kind of
like,
think
I'm not
Travis
going to
took
get rid of
that
mine.
from my parents.
But they had for a long time it was an Atari, then it was the regular Nintendo, and I don't know how we kept that working. Like we had to hit it in the
Yeah.
right spot, unplug it, plug it back in, and then all of a sudden it would work. And then one Christmas or Thanksgiving we tried it for like hours and hours, and we're like, no, it's finally dead. And I think we took it to someone, or one of my cousins took it to someone, and it just couldn't be saved. So we had someone had an extra Super Nintendo laying around, so that's what we have now.
I dig that. Well, since I keep getting wiped out,
Pass.
I'm gonna go back to another computer game. That's one of those that, like, once you're into it, you're now hours and hours and hours and hours into it. That being Civilization.
Never played it.
Really?
Yeah, that's
Nope.
Oh, it's good.
it's kind of
Is it like a roll?
Risk.
It's like a
Okay.
it's like a role playing game. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you ever?
You like start out as like the ancient
Okay.
whatever. If you want to be America, you can. You start out like way back in the day, and it's like you have a little settlement, and then you research shit and improve to cities and grow and explore and
And evolve through
build
the time
new
periods.
cities. Yeah,
That's kind of cool.
it's one of those things that like once you get into it, you're like, well, damn it, I have to keep going.
That's not a bad. That's not a
Oh,
bad fourth
they have-
choice.
And I
think
understand that maybe it's not as well known, but the people that play
Yeah.
or have played Civilization are like,
Very loyal.
yes.
One
Yeah.
of my buddies that I play Star Wars with plays it all the time right now. They're on. I think it's Civilization 6.
I think so. And I was
And
actually
it's-
fairly recently looking at it, and I was like,
Yeah.
I should probably buy this.
I thought about it too. And
Did you
like,
guys
oh,
ever
wait.
play? Because this is maybe similar, maybe a little different, but like Legend of Zelda or like
Yep.
Final
Yeah.
Fantasy.
Yes.
I guess I tried playing both, but I just couldn't get into like, especially Final Fantasy. Like again, these same two college roommates one time. It was finals time, and literally our Final Fantasy on PlayStation 1, by the way. I think it was on for like 3 straight days. And by straight, I mean literally 24 hours straight. Like I played like 1 hour of it, and like they would play together, and then one would go take a final and come back, and the other one would go take a final, and they'd be like, all right, you go sleep for 4 hours, and I'll keep playing, and then you go make breakfast, and then I'll play, and like the machine was like burning up. Like they conquered the game in like 3 hours. But I never got into any of those like almost like role play or type games.
Civ is very much a role playing game, but it's actually like now that you say it, it's a lot like Risk.
Yeah, I like
Yeah,
Risk.
you kinda-
We used to play Risk, the board game, a
No,
lot.
It's
I
a
lied.
different
It's not
kind
like
of.
Risk. Other than you can fight people.
It's a different way of. Like
you,
if-
you
I
have
don't
like
know.
different military units
Yeah.
and shit. It's similar in that way, but there's way more like.
Well, Risk was just like
Yeah,
this
like-
time, win, lose, take over the world.
Right.
Whereas this you
is
evolve
like,
through periods.
yes, and you
Like-
actually have to like
That's kind of
develop
cool.
technologies and stuff.
Right.
I just decided we're gonna have one more round and we'll go fast.
Oh,
might as
because
well
you're
just-
afraid your
because I-
four are gonna
We
lose.
might as well just have 5. No, I'm pretty sure mine will lose. Actually, I don't know.
If,
I think
if you don't
Civilization
take,
was
I
my only
have
bad
one that I'm very surprised has not been taken yet.
I am certain that it's not what's in my head.
Oh, okay.
Actually, maybe it is. I'm gonna go with Rock Band.
Oh, did not the one I'm
Oh,
thinking
man,
of.
I didn't
That
think
is
of
a
that.
Very good one.
That is
That
good.
is another favorite when drinking.
Yes.
We almost just played that with the Bergs and the Davenports not too long ago.
Which of them has it? Because they might have to hang
The
out with
Bergs.
us. What? All right.
They play it
so
quite frequently.
What the heck is gonna hang out with the Bergs a little bit more?
I have
often?
Rock Band. Only one of my 2 guitars work, so I gotta
Well,
get a new guitar.
Yeah, you can't have one guitar.
Hey, I get it. And I gotta download more songs because the current song list kind of suck balls.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a tough one.
So the one that I was surprised is still on here, and maybe maybe it's not a surprise, but I'm gonna go with Super Smash Brothers.
Yeah.
That I thought that was gonna come off the board early, so I didn't go with it. And
I considered it. I did. It just wasn't that meaningful to me. I hadn't committed that much time to it.
makes sense.
So Super Smash Brothers is different than Super Mario Brothers, correct?
Yes.
I'm really kind of torn because there's another sports game that I played a lot of.
Sports ball.
Sports Ball. That was it.
Because that was another one on
Yep,
my list. but
That's
I'm
on my
like,
list. And believe it or not, I played a lot of NHL.
I was just gonna.
Like-
NHL was my other
NHL
one.
is pretty
I-
kick-ass. Like
It's
I played it
so
with
much fun.
Superior Reese and I used to play some NHL. My college roommates would play some NHL. Like you could really get into it. Like
Yeah.
usually I won't sit and watch a whole hockey game because I find it kind of slow. But like when you're playing it, like you can put 7, 12, 14 goals into a game. Like if you're know
and
what you're
just
doing.
crushing people.
Yeah, yeah, hammering them up
So
against the
much
boards.
fun.
Like, oh, man. But I think I'm gonna go with Super Mario Bros. Because really, like, from the very beginning, they just seem to be
I feel like that's the
the timeless,
Yep.
the whole series. Like,
that's the classic of the classic.
I'd agree. All right. In summary, I had Madden, Grand Theft Auto, The Sims, Civilization, and Rock Band. Tyler had Halo, Assassin's Creed, Star Wars, which is the best, Donkey Kong, and Super Smash Bros. And Jake had 007, NCAA Football, Oregon Trail, or Oregon Trail.
Oregon.
It's up to you.
Oregon.
Mario Kart and Super Mario Bros. So I'll put that on Facebook sometime after I post this episode
Hecklers, let's get your votes.
and tell Jake that his list is for old people.
My list is the badass list out there.
It's
I bet you I win.
I don't know.
I'm gonna.
Depends how old our people
I was
are.
gonna say he will just. I won't. I know I won't. Except for maybe the Star Wars might.
Star
play.
Wars will get you a lot of votes.
Star Wars
but-
will help.
But you know what? You might say mine are old people, but all of those games have managed to
Die and come
win the success of time.
I
They've
agree.
all made it through the timelines.
Except
Might
for
not be the
007.
most popular. Yeah, 007
died
died
off.
out. But 007 is like the grandfather to Halo and all these
gonna
other
say.
multiplayer games.
And 007 is like, if you're looking to buy games for an N64, that's like one of the most expensive
Oh,
games.
for
to
sure.
Yeah. Yep. Because it
it's
was
just
the
that
classic.
popular.
I'm feeling okay though, because Madden is got
Madden's
some
gonna
die.
get you some
Madden's
pull.
got die
And
hard.
the Sims.
Dude, I
is gonna
cancel
get
you
The
off with
Sims-
NCAA football.
And
The-
Rock Band. Yeah.
The Sims and Rock Band are kind of like everybody has experienced those. It's not just like boys that were gamers as teenagers.
Mhm.
We'll see.
This one was very interesting.
It's gonna be a good.
It's
It's
gonna
gonna,
come
be a
down to the
close
wire.
vote.
It'll probably be something stupid like Jake will get a bunch of votes for Hank Voigt, even though that guy sucks and
No one knows
him.
who he is.
Dude, I put together a goddamn good draft right here, so give me some
That's a
credit.
Stupid draft.
You got some help with Colin adding us a fifth round.
You think Super Mario Brothers wasn't?
I think a lot of people love Super Mario.
I agree.
I
Yeah.
can go original.
I considered
Super
it, but I would
Mario.
have been lying. That would have been me picking it because I knew people liked it, not me picking it because it was. My
See again, back in the N64 days was when I was in college when that bad boy first was coming out. So 007, Super Mario Bros. I mean, some of those games, Mario Kart, like that's when they were like first introduced and had their most popular times. So, like you said, classics, but they still all traveled the test of time.
And we too will travel the test of time, and we'll pass this week. But will you?
And hopefully it's to the bar.
Hopefully someday.
Oh, someday.
Hopefully someday
Someday
COVID
sooner.
passes and we pass out at the bar.
Hopefully COVID passes and we do too.
But not like passes, like it
Yeah,
kills
not
us.
like we don't want to die
Yeah,
with
no,
COVID or
right,
without
passes,
COVID.
Passes as in is
COVID
just,
passes
it goes
on,
away
and then we pass to the bar.
to better times.
to better times. Here, here. All right, folks. This was a long one, but I'm not going to apologize because if you don't want to listen to a long one, then just turn it off. I don't give a shit.
We know
We still love
it
you,
out there.
hecklers.
We know you love the long episodes out
It's
there.
fine.
It's,
Our
Yeah,
7 loyal hecklers will listen to this whole long one.
What
get
else
more
do you have
people
going on?
listening.
Yeah, we're still hanging like at 40.
Oh, okay.
We pretty much live in the 40 range.
I'll take it.
Could be worse.
Could be.
Much worse.
It could be 3 and I'd still do it, so whatever.
Yeah, and it would be the three
The
of
three of
us.
us go home and listen to it.
All right, for Jake Reese and Tyler Hack, I'm Colin Frederick. Let's get the heck out of here and vote for my list because it's better than Jake's.